Out of nowhere, a single, elegantly staged photograph turned the internet upside down. A mysterious place card with the names Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, carefully written in golden script, casually resting on a formal dining table. No caption, no clear setting, no confirmation. And yet, the image detonated like a bomb across social media platforms, reigniting long-simmering whispers that the world's most iconic pop star and the NFL's golden boy may have secretly tied the knot. In a digital age obsessed with oversharing, the sheer subtlety of the photo made it feel more real, more intentional, as if it were meant to be found, yet never explained. Within hours, fan theories multiplied like wildfire. Some were convinced it was from an ultra-private wedding ceremony held in Nashville, citing the muted floral arrangements and vintage cutlery as a match to Swift's rumored taste. Others speculated it was a carefully planned decoy to distract from an even bigger announcement. But what made this photo so captivating wasn't just the romantic possibility, it was the silence that followed. Taylor, a woman known for embedding confessions in her lyrics, and Travis, usually gregarious and playful in media appearances, both said nothing. Zero confirmation, zero denial, just an internet storm of emotion, theory, and chaos. The mysterious source of the image, allegedly a guest at an invite-only celebration, claimed no press was allowed, no phones permitted, just intimate vows among close friends. The phrase stuck, spreading across gossip forums and Swiftie threads like gospel. Then came the breadcrumbs. Jason Kelce's brief social media like of the image quickly retracted. A Nashville bakery's anonymous report of delivering a custom 3-tier cake to a location matching Taylor's property. An unverified sighting of both stars boarding a private jet the weekend before. Every clue, no matter how small, added weight to a growing belief that perhaps, against all odds and industry expectations, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce had chosen to start their forever not on a magazine cover, but in a room full of only love. Now, as headlines swirl and analysts scramble for facts, the world finds itself collectively holding its breath, wondering if the most powerful couple in pop culture just pulled off the impossible. A wedding no one saw coming, yet somehow everyone feels in their bones. Barely contained, the excitement hit a fever pitch as the romantic dream started to unravel under the weight of scrutiny. What was first a magical mystery, a whispered tale of secret vows and undying love, soon began to crack beneath the harsh glare of public obsession. The infamous place card, once held up as sacred proof, came under forensic-level analysis. Image experts on Reddit began pointing out odd shadows and digital inconsistencies. Was the card even real? A renowned wedding photographer suggested the photo was likely staged, citing the unnatural placement of glassware and a lighting inconsistency between the place card and its background. Meanwhile, fans noticed that the font on the card bore an eerie resemblance to a free calligraphy template found online, one often used for fan edits and aesthetic mood boards. Still, not everyone was convinced it was a hoax. Some believed the entire controversy had been deliberately planned to generate confusion and protect a very real private ceremony. Fueling that narrative was the total radio silence from both Taylor and Travis. No denials, no Instagram posts to distract from the rumor, no official press response. This absence of any controlling narrative allowed the internet to spiral unchecked. TMZ launched a full-scale investigation, reportedly offering tens of thousands for any confirmed visual evidence of a wedding license or guest list. Paparazzi swarmed Nashville and Kansas City. One overzealous fan even claimed to have intercepted a floral delivery labeled Mrs. Kelce, though no proof was ever provided. Even friends of the couple began to feel the strain. A vague post by Selena Gomez about letting love breathe in private was immediately interpreted as a cryptic confirmation. Meanwhile, Travis's longtime teammate Patrick Mahomes was bombarded with invasive questions during a youth football event, forcing him to awkwardly dodge any discussion of his friend's possible nuptials. Commentators began asking whether the couple had miscalculated. Was the secrecy romantic or reckless? For a public that thrives on curated access and transparent narratives, this swirling confusion became maddening. Fans who had once rooted for the couple's love story began to fracture into camps: the believers, the skeptics, and the downright angry. Some felt betrayed by the possibility of a wedding they weren't allowed to witness, as if their emotional investment in the couple's journey entitled them to answers. Others defended their right to privacy, insisting love didn't need a live stream to be real. The emotional stakes continued to rise when Swift's publicist posted, and quickly deleted, a cryptic quote: "Some things are sweeter when the world is left wondering." The move only deepened the divide, and the backlash escalated. Accusations of manipulation and attention baiting began to surface. Was this entire drama an elaborate PR stunt? Was the photo fake? Or had we all just caught a glimpse of something sacred we weren't meant to see? Relentlessly, the questions kept coming, threatening to tear apart the fantasy as swiftly as it had formed. Suddenly, the entire narrative exploded into chaos as new footage emerged, blurry, shaky, but unmistakably intimate. Leaked by an anonymous source claiming to be a server at a luxury Nashville venue, the video appeared to show Taylor Swift in a flowing cream-colored gown walking beside Travis Kelce in a fitted navy suit, their hands briefly touching before she pulled him close and whispered something into his ear. Though there was no audio, the energy in the clip was electric. The room was softly lit, candles flickering, a faint acoustic cover of Invisible String playing in the background. And while the footage lasted barely 10 seconds, that was enough. The internet detonated. Hashtags like Tronner Swift Kelce Wedding and Taylor Travis Forever trended globally within minutes. Frame by frame, fans dissected every second. Was that Blake Lively smiling in the background? Did those flower arrangements match the ones seen in Swift's Lover video? And who was the older woman dabbing her eyes? Andrea Swift? The mystery deepened when outlets tried to verify the video's authenticity. Multiple AI detection experts confirmed the footage showed no signs of manipulation. But legal threats from Swift's management team followed swiftly, demanding takedowns and raising suspicions even higher. Why so aggressive if the footage was fake? Meanwhile, Travis's podcast released an episode where he seemed visibly tense and distracted, offering vague platitudes about protecting what matters most, and not everything needs to be public. His usual charisma was subdued, replaced with a quiet defiance. Then came the real shock. An obscure but reliable Kansas City clerk anonymously leaked that a marriage license had indeed been filed under pseudonyms matching Swift and Kelce's initials, just days before the rumored date. Though it couldn't be officially verified due to privacy laws, fans cross-referenced the filing with a known Swiftian alias used in past legal documents. It matched. Media outlets scrambled to catch up, while gossip programs aired hour-long specials piecing together the timeline. Former collaborators chimed in with cryptic confirmations. A well-known stylist posted, "Still emotional from dressing her for the moment of a lifetime," without naming names. But her tag location was Nashville. Rumors turned into near certainties. Still, no official statement. And that silence spoke volumes. The public reaction, however, was far from uniform. Some were thrilled, celebrating what they saw as a fairy tale ending for two stars who had weathered intense public scrutiny. Others felt manipulated. Had they been kept in the dark while being teased for engagement all along? Accusations of elitism, secrecy, and fan betrayal filled comment sections. But for every skeptic, there were twice as many romantics, clinging to the belief that what they had seen, that whispered moment, that almost kiss, was real. Inevitably, the world began to shift from questioning to acceptance, realizing this story may never be confirmed with a press release or a People magazine exclusive. Instead, it had become something rarer, a love story defined not by spectacle, but by the spaces in between. Quietly, the storm began to settle, not because the questions had been answered, but because the world had grown tired of chasing ghosts. In the absence of any official confirmation, the narrative took on a life of its own. Not fact, not fiction, but folklore. For weeks, Swift and Kelce maintained their disciplined silence, appearing only in curated moments, a blurry photo at a friend's barbecue, a paparazzi-free walk through a private airport terminal, glimpses of hands held and sideways glances shared behind tinted windows. There was no wedding ring in sight, no statement made, no wedding photos posted, just the heavy, deliberate quiet of two people refusing to feed the fire. And yet, something had shifted. Swift's performances took on a new glow. She smiled differently during Enchanted, paused longer before singing Lover, and began ending her sets with subtle bows toward the sky, as if honoring something sacred and private. Meanwhile, Travis returned to the public eye for training camp, noticeably more grounded, avoiding all personal questions with a quiet shake of the head and a grin that said everything and nothing. The media, realizing they had reached a wall, slowly redirected their attention. New scandals emerged, new headlines screamed louder. But this story lingered. It became less about the event itself and more about what it meant. Fans created montages, narrating their version of the love story through edits and emotional breakdowns of lyrics. Creators on TikTok romanticized the mystery, calling it the anti-celebrity wedding, a rebellion against the performative culture of fame. Even major outlets began to reflect on the phenomenon. Why had the world been so obsessed? What did it say about privacy, romance, and the need for constant validation? In the end, the alleged wedding became more than just a celebrity rumor. It became a mirror. For some, it reflected longing, a desire to believe that real love could exist beyond the spectacle. For others, it revealed our dependency on visibility to validate reality. But for Swift and Kelce, it seemed to mark a new chapter, one defined not by magazine covers or viral clips, but by intentional distance. Whether they were married or not almost ceased to matter. The story they wrote, silently, delicately, between the lines, became its own kind of vow. Ultimately, in an age where everything is content, their refusal to explain became the most powerful statement of all. Sometimes, the most extraordinary moments don't need to be shared, only lived.